Israel pummeling Gaza from the skies. While on land, its army awaits the go-ahead for a ground offensive. The US already funds the Israeli military to the tune of $3 billion a year. It plans to spend billions more to aid the fight against Hamas. Meanwhile, the war in Ukraine is well into its second year, with no end in sight. Again, the US has been far and away the Ukrainians' biggest backer, to the tune of $75 billion. But can the US afford to finance the military campaigns of two different allies in two different conflicts at the same time?
I think the answer is absolutely. America can certainly afford to stand with Israel and to support Israel's military needs. And we also can and must support Ukraine in its struggle against Russia. And look, the American economy is doing extremely well.
But the sums involved are eye-watering. The latest package, drawn up by the US administration, will cost another $105 billion. Most of that, $61 billion, will go to Ukraine. Another $14.3 billion is earmarked for Israel's operation in Gaza. And there's even a third front. $7.4 billion will go to America's allies in the Indo-Pacific to counter the threat from China.
As long as the people who hold U.S. bonds think that the U.S. at some point will pay them, then we have a theoretically quite large ceiling on how much money we can print and how many things that we can do with that money. Now, fiscal conservatives like myself think that this is sort of a confidence game. At a certain point, the bottom will fall out. Now, the question is, are we close to that?
At the moment, the problem is less an economic one than a political one. While supportive of funding for Israel, a growing number of Republican lawmakers are opposing any further money for Ukraine. An opinion poll suggests a majority of Americans agree with them.
And with elections due next year, the US administration fears it will become increasingly difficult to persuade the public that so much money should be spent on other nations' wars. John Brain, TRT World, Washington.